And the car show adventure begins with the Ford race truck. It's big truck day, race truck day with big poop on the tire.
What is that?
What do you think that is? Of course. We've been pooped out. Alright, so here's hitting the big old truck here as the adventures, and it's cold. I'm cold. I'm gonna get in my nice warm truck, man. It's cold. Brr! Brr! Got my garage door thing open. Got the kid. The kid is a kid ready with that race truck noise. She just loves that race truck feel. That truck is so much fun. It really is. Alright, it's 47 degrees out. Brr! Okay, so I guess she wants me to go first. I like the electronic brake setup. There she is. As I roll, oh, look at that bird poop on my mirror. I can't escape the poop, everybody. I've been pooped out, but you know, it looks like it's gonna rain. Doesn't it? I mean, it so looks like it's gonna rain. It just doesn't seem like this is a great, seems like a very dismal day, but we'll run up there. I gotta go to work, actually. So, yeah, I gotta go freaking... it just doesn't end, man. Well, what do you expect? You're not buying cars all the damn time, Mr. Iceman. I get all that. I understand. I'm with you. Hey, I just heads-up display. Really like that. And, you know, and sincerely, for me as an individual, when I came home yesterday, I was thinking, was it really worth it? Was it really worth me giving up that other vehicle? Giving up my Bronco Raptor. I mean, sincerely, I just thought worth it for this. We already have a really cool F-250 Tremor, and yeah, I mean, do I kind of second guess myself? Yeah, I do. I mean, sincerely, as an individual, I think, why'd I do this? You know, why did I do this? But you know what? This really is a really nice truck. It really is. But what I noticed about this truck and the higher speeds is it's a big lifted truck with big ass tires on it, and what you get with that is you don't get the most comfortable ride. So, and it's the Ford. What I've noticed with these Ford Super D trucks, it's that solid front axle where you get the Jeep effect where the vehicle walks. I mean, every Ford truck I own that's a Super Duty, every one of them has that personality of the front end likes to walk down the road. And what I mean by that is the truck likes to steer out of its lane. So you're constantly having to maneuver the steering wheel so that you stay in the lane. And it's a lot of work. And that's one thing I've even complained about it. Now, it's interesting, I haven't driven a big Chevy truck in years. And I was saying that yesterday, in some ways, it'd have been more adventurous to go out and buy just a different vehicle product manufacturer. You know, and in all sincereness, in some ways, that could still be a possibility somewhat, but not really. Because the Tremor truck, the value of that truck to what's owed on it is basically about a $13,000 negative equity position. So, and that's why I went a different direction, because the Raptor was more like a $5,000 negative position because of the times have changed. A year ago, I got like $90,000 for my Bronco Raptor. I think I got that, something like 88 or 90 grand. A year later, that's now a 75, 78, wholesale vehicle. So but you just have to think about it. If you want a Raptor or Bronco used, you're still going to be paying probably over 80 grand. And you can probably pick up a really nice Wild Track, probably in the low 50s to high 40s now. That'd be my guess. Because you can get them brand new now, discounted, and they're going to be in the $50,000 range. So so on the lower speeds, this truck has an issue. It's not calibrated correctly. So the truck right now we're doing like 55 miles an hour. If I can get my Waze to come up over here, I'm going to show that to you on how what's going on here. God dang it, man. I tell you, it just doesn't end. Why doesn't my thing? Yeah. So right now, the speedo says 49 miles an hour, but I'm doing 52. I notice in the higher speeds, it's off a good 4-5 miles an hour. So when you're up 70 miles an hour, you're doing 75. When you're at 75, you're doing 80. So I'm surprised, but here's what Kirby told me, is he didn't feel like putting that special, you have to tear apart the instrumentation to make that work. It's interesting. I wonder why that happened. My view. So, but I thought I had, I like this better. I like that view better with all my instrumentation in front of me. And there's the fuel mileage, 17 miles per gallon. So I like the tire noise. So this truck is really fun in the lower speeds. So this truck, 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. But when you get in that open highway, it's not as enjoyable, because the tires, to me, it's just the character of big ass tires on trucks. Bottom line is, to me, they're not balanced great. Well, what do you expect out of a 37-inch tire? So, but, the new technology, the new interior, this is really, and that's why I said, you know what, I'd rather give up my Ford Raptor Bronco for this than the other truck, because I just feel like the Raptor, I've had my day with the Bronco. Raptor. The only downside is Broncos. The interior is just so dark. I guess if you can hear, I can open the sun panel, the panoramic roof on this thing. I can open this up and get a lot more light in this vehicle. But on the Ford Bronco, unless you take the tops off, it's just a dark interior. And then climbing in and out of that Bronco, it is, and I even questioned myself so many times of buying the Raptor Bronco on having to literally launch yourself into the truck. And so for me, I just like, and I just had my day. But here's the thing, today, I gotta get motivated. I'm gonna have to take everything out of that truck that I put into it, the rear sliding toolbox and the rear tailgater, and transfer it over to the Wildtrak. So that's gonna be a project. And that's a project, because that sliding box is heavy. And you got to get in there with the right-hand angled power tools that I use to unbolt and bolt down the studs that hold that in that back area securely. Oh, it's always a project. Right now, the truck's really fun. Really, I'm liking it. Loving the heated seats. Loving the heated steering wheel. And it just really is nice. And they got the steering wheel all lined up. And there's a kid behind me with the analog, non-LED light package, and so, but once again, it's just, I can't, people will be there, but will be as exciting? I don't know.
Show?
Well, how many people do you think will be there today?
Not many. But my friend Hannah is going.
Right. How's the truck doing?
I don't know. This is my favorite. It's mine.
Oh my goodness gracious. How does this truck look?
It looks exactly like the other truck.
Wow.
Like from this angle, I could not tell a difference.
Right. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, as we come up to the Floors Decor Car Meet Show. And how is it? A little light. I'm sure I get all that. It's just a dreary day. Okay, here we come into the overcast day, and you got a lot of regulars. I just like come up here and see their friends, hang out, talk. Yeah, it's light beyond light. And so it's interesting. I got the big ass truck, and my friend Steve doesn't want to look at me. Hey, cameraman, why don't you want to take a picture of my truck?
We already blew it up. I couldn't fit it all in the left.
Hey, he's good. He's funny. Look at this here. Electric. Is that my electric buddy? So that's a guy I think that I met last year that wants to do electric bug restorations, and I told him to come by his shop and check it out. And did I ever do that? No, because it'll just be another day, another project, and that's how it'll play out. So let's see here what we do here. Look at that. There's the truck slammed. Yeah, how about that, huh? Yeah, pretty quiet. I just want to sit in my truck and stay warm, to be honest with you. Here comes trouble. Is this Brent? There he is. Trouble. Trouble has arrived. Let's go down and see the Z06 man. Aren't you freezing your butt off?
For what?
Aren't you freezing?
I didn't take the top down while I was driving.
What? I think you need a new exhaust. I think you need a new exhaust on this thing.
Yeah.
It's not loud enough.
Really?
I mean, I can't hear it, man. I mean, and borderline, I thought you're like that Volkswagen over there with that electric motor. It had like a zoom, you know, like zing, zoom.
Hey.
Hey.
I didn't forget about you. As soon as I talked to my buddy.
Okay, well, we're on it.
What?
Oh, I don't know. All right, let's walk on over here and let's check out the electrified Beetle. It's electrified. Hey, how are you?
What's up, buddy?
How are you? The electrified Beetle is alive. How you doing, man? Remember me last year?
Ice Age.
Yes.
Right.
Twisted Voltage EV. So this is a different project, right or wrong? Or is this the same one?
This is actually the same one, and the guy wanted me to do some non-EV related
Yeah,
stuff to it,
yeah.
wipers and things.
Right.
And so I'm delivering it back to Arlington today, so I thought I'd pull through here.
Oh, nice. Okay. You know, I can't remember since it was like 5 or 6 months ago, but I don't think that was on
I
there.
might
like
not
that.
have had that on there.
Right. That's pretty creative.
Yeah.
And did you do it all? Did you fabricate all that?
No, that's a bought item. The
Oh,
customer
okay.
gave it to me, just said, hey, you throw this on. It's a Volkswagen.
Yeah, yeah. So do you like this thing?
I do. I'm doing a red one for myself, almost exactly like this, but with a little more battery in it.
So if somebody reached out to you and wanted one like what you're doing, what would you charge them? How much would it be?
The one that I'm doing right now for myself with labor and all the parts that I have in it would probably be, if they brought me the bug, about $52K.
So you're saying if they bring the vehicle, it's still $52K?
Yes.
Wow.
But that
so,
also gets you four-wheel disc brakes, Coney adjustable shocks, sway bars. It's
okay,
all
but
packaged.
well, forget that. The guy just wants to buy yours. How much can you charge him?
$62K.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably $10K bug that I started with.
So who else out there is doing this? On the Beetle, on the Bug.
There is mostly on the West Coast. There's not a whole lot on the East Coast.
So,
Plus the gas at West Coast is 8+.
well, sure, exactly. Rip off California.
San Diego.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're saying over in California area, there's a lot of people doing this?
Yeah. California, Arizona, Texas.
Yeah.
That seems to be where most of the activity is. There's a guy in Lancaster that's doing these. He's kind of selling more parts now, but he has some conversions as well.
All right. So what's the pluses and minuses if somebody buys this?
Well, it does everything that a Volkswagen doesn't do. It doesn't leak. It doesn't smell.
That's the reason for Volkswagen.
Yeah, right.
Yes, we can't put on the floor on the garage.
Exactly. Yeah.
This thing had a really hot dual carbureted motor when I got it. And from my shop in Winchester to Purcellville, I had to downshift to third gear to get over the mountain, and I had to hammer down.
Right.
And it barely made it over the mountain.
Yeah.
Electric, I can leave it in fourth and fly over the mountain at 70 miles an hour.
Right. So you put a manual transmission in it.
I left it in, yeah.
Yeah. And so how did you make that go with electric motor? As far as
It's perfect because the guy in Arlington drives around in second gear all day because it's 25, 35 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So he's got a ton of power.
Right.
But you get on the highway, you just shift it from second to fourth and let it go.
Okay. So what's the range of this?
That one's about 120 miles, depending on how you drive, where you drive.
Is this like a 34 kilowatt battery or something, or
It
60
is
or
35.
35 kilowatt battery?
And a little change, yeah.
And so to recharge it takes what, about 4 or 5 hours?
On
a 220.
On your home 220,
Yeah.
it's like 6 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the gentleman that got this from you, is he happy? I mean, is he ecstatic
Yes.
over this thing? He's really,
Yeah.
he loves it.
As a matter of fact, if you look, they just had a Mustang, half-converted Mustang on Bring a Trailer that went.
Yeah.
And this owner and another guy because I just chimed in and said, hey, if you need help finishing this project,
Yeah.
Maybe I can help.
Right.
And I had this customer was following that auction apparently, and so was another customer of mine in Richmond, and both made really nice comments about me finishing their project.
Nice.
I'm
How
thoroughly
nice
impressed
everything
with your
turned
work.
out.
Yeah,
Really
right.
impressed.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, but for you, you're not painting the car. You're doing all the electronics. You're not retroing a car. Like, you're not putting all new glass in and new handles.
The one that I'm doing now,
Yeah.
this one I did put new rubber in this one.
Okay.
Glass.
All right.
But the other one I did everything with paint. I put a complete rubber kit front to back in it.
Yeah.
A complete interior and a headliner in it.
Yeah.
A Safari kick-out windshield in the front.
Oh, neat.
So and it's got a.
I commend you for that too. It's the headliner itself is painting.
Yeah.
It's got a Porsche 356 banjo wheel in it with an adapter to make
Yeah.
it work. So
Nice.
the other one's got. I mean, everything's been done but paint. It's
Well,
got
let's
a
look
narrow
at this.
beam.
People don't always watch my YouTube channel. So even though we did this last fall, we should just do a refresh. Some people that are watching my channel can see the moon wheel hubcaps.
Right.
And so when the guy brought this car to you, did it kind of look like this, or you're saying you
Yeah.
made it look like this?
It looked like this.
Yeah.
I changed the wheels and tires.
Yep.
Good choice.
But it had a gas engine in it.
It had gas engine in it.
Right.
I put four-wheel disc brakes on it and sway bars on it.
Nice.
And the interior was like it is. I changed a few little things, but not much.
What about shocks?
Shocks, it had brand new shocks on it.
Okay.
I usually put Coney adjustable, like $600 worth of Coney adjustable shocks on when I do it.
Yeah.
Because you can adjust pretty good for the battery weight. But this thing handled and drove pretty well, so I didn't change that.
Okay, so then you ripped out the good old air-cooled Volkswagen motor, and then you bought this from Net Game. And where are these guys out of?
They're out of Illinois, and basically what they do is they get this Italian motor,
Yeah.
and then they get a controller that Borg Warner makes for them,
Okay.
and they have a software package that makes it all work together. So it's
Right.
totally tunable. I can plug in my laptop, just like I do LS conversions and Coyote swaps too. And just like you tune those on a laptop, you tune this on a laptop the exact same way.
So where's the battery pack?
There's 4 behind the seat that are this way.
Yeah.
And then
How tall are they? Like, how thick are they?
They are about 2.5 inches thick
That's it?
and 19 inches long.
That's unbelievable.
And 12 inches tall.
Oh, 12 inches tall.
Yeah, so they're like this long, this big.
It's
but
like a
that
box. So you have multiple boxes.
Yeah, there's 4 batteries in this box and 2 in the one in front.
Okay.
So 6 Tesla modules total.
Right. Which equals, what, 31 kilowatts?
These are the 6.4 kilowatt modules.
Okay, so you have, so you'd have to have
So this
5
is-
of them.
I have 6.
You have 6 of them.
So
that's
6 times
36.
6.4, 36.
Well,
is
that's
insane.
going to be like 34 times 6 is another 24. So 38.4.
Right. Yes.
38.4 kilowatts on this right here. But could you go bigger without taking away, too much weight? I mean, like,
On
what
this
is,
thing, the practical limitation on this thing would be one more module in front.
and how much do those modules weigh?
50 pounds.
50 pounds each. So you could put 300 pounds of battery weight in here. So to get 100 kilowatt out of this thing, if you want 100 kilowatt, you got to triple that number, so you'd be at 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense at that point.
Yeah,
because
right.
then You have a tank.
Yeah, right. It'd be it'd be 900
This is
plus.
a nice spot. I mean, how far do you want to drive in a bug? I mean,
Yeah. Well, sure, but the gentleman's he lives in a rural area where he wants to just be,
Right.
doesn't live out in Montana.
Then you want a classic truck done where you got a bed, you put a false
Right.
floor, and you put a whole Tesla pack in it.
Yeah, sure, that's a
And then
great
you get
idea.
your 200, 220 miles or whatever.
And when
I
you-
want to transition into classic trucks.
Oh, that's cool.
Have one going on right now, and it makes a lot of sense because the whole Tesla rear subframe is the right width for it.
Yeah.
So I can put the whole Tesla subframe with giant brakes on it.
Yeah. So So you say, what's holding you back? Why aren't you doing it?
I'm doing one for a customer now. As soon as somebody calls me and wants another one, I'll do another one.
How long does
Okay.
this take to put that all in? Like, from without doing any body work, any interior?
Just
If I
to
just gave you, had said, hey, make
just
this
to,
electric.
it's like 300 hours of labor probably. To do a nice
300
clean
hours
install.
of labor, really. So that's basically 8 weeks, 8 work weeks. It's 7.5 work weeks of your time
Yeah.
if you're putting 40-hour work weeks in.
And there's always stuff that's back ordered, so you always have a couple going on at a time, so you can
Yeah.
keep them all together.
Right. So where's the plug? Where do you plug it in? Is it right back here?
It's regular J1772. It has all the safety stuff that you
Yeah.
can go to the grocery store and charge it or wherever.
Yeah.
And it communicates properly with all those. So
Right.
you have every safety feature that's in a modern EV this thing has.
Okay.
It has crash
Yeah, that's
sensor.
that's the biggest talk. You go rip apart a Tesla, you're gonna shock yourself and probably die. So if you don't know what you're doing,
Yeah.
I mean that's the theory.
Right.
I mean, the Tesla, realize it or not, there's specialized people that literally take apart Teslas.
Yeah.
they have to
Yeah.
know what they're doing without being electrified.
It does, and I've been a mechanic my entire life. I've actually been trained on electric Volkswagens,
Yeah.
and electric Toyotas,
Right.
And so I went through 3 electric training programs when EVs are first coming out. Like the Pacifica had a training program,
Yeah.
and I went through that as well.
Right.
I don't have to do that work anymore, thankfully.
Yeah.
But
So there's a lot of talk about the next generation. So next generation batteries. So there's a company up in Massachusetts called SES that's now making lithium metal. Okay, instead of lithium graphite, they're going to metal. And so this new
I've heard that
lithium metal,
lithium iron, right?
right? And
Iron.
they're saying it's have 30% more power, 30% more range. So over the next 3 to 4 years, behind the scenes, these battery manufacturers are diligently working like you can't
yeah.
believe to make these batteries become 400 or 500 mile
Yeah.
vehicles and to charge very quickly.
Toyota and BMW both have solid state batteries.
Yeah,
that are
that's
actually
right.
driving around now.
Yeah, and but that's 2028. They're saying.
Yeah.
They're saying those about another 4 or 5 years. But they say when they figure that out, it's going to destroy
Yeah.
this
All is
industry.
gonna be different.
But why do you think that is on the solid state? I thought they were such a heavier. I thought it was
They're-
heavier,
they,
more stable.
They last forever.
Yeah.
But they're also more compact. From what I heard, your amp capacity is double per weight of what we have now.
So, but why didn't solid state go first before lithium went? You know what I
There is
mean?
Such a solid state works really good on a tiny scale, and
Yeah.
they're trying to make it big now.
Right.
So I think that's I think the biggest problem was the amount of amps you could pull out of a solid state to run a big motor.
Okay.
I think they work great if you're running a laptop and pulling hardly any amps. But when you start
Right.
trying to pull 800, 1,000 amps out of them, it's a hurdle.
Right.
I think they're figuring that out now.
Yeah, that's interesting. I thought it was more of a weight thing, like golf carts. You think of solid state batteries, think of a golf cart, right? You're looking at, battery, the conventional 12-volt battery,
Right.
all, bundled up in a freaking, what I'm talking about.
Right.
And so when I think of solid state batteries, that's my perception. What's your
Yeah.
perception?
I think small. I mean, golf carts that I've seen are all lead acid.
Right, exactly.
But solid states, I think of little batteries and little things.
Yeah, but that's what the running joke is in Tesla battery pack. It's a gazillion Duracell
yeah,
copper,
it looks like that.
batteries.
It looks like 770.
Right, right.
777.
Yeah, right,
batteries.
right. But you're saying for the conventional battery, that you put in your flashlight, that's a solid state battery.
They use solid states or small batteries, not even in flashlights.
Really?
Flashlights are lithium ion.
Hearing aid. You're talking about a hearing aid. You're talking about
small stuff
your
like that,
key fob, your key fob,
rechargeable, like calculators and things.
Yeah,
like
but like
that,
your
you know?
key fob, little.
Those little ones are solid state. These little right.
Okay.
And that's the scale, but now you make them in a big scale.
Okay, all right, that's good information.
I don't know that much about.
Yeah, well, that's fine. No,
Right.
most people don't.
Yeah.
And that's why on my YouTube channel, I'm just sharing information.
But I know that currently, like all the newer voltages in the newer cars is all
Yeah.
800 volts now.
Well, right. Well, right now we're at 200, then the 400. 400's, I thought, the next phase.
Well, 400 is the industry standard like now.
Right, 400's in.
But now
then,
the new Hyundais and Kias are all 800.
Yeah. And so my understanding is it makes it so you can charge faster. It's a more stable. The wiring can be smaller for the infrastructure.
Wiring's smaller, but it pulls less amps because it's more volts, so it's all works a little better.
Okay.
You know, like a 400 volt Tesla Plaid pulls 1200 amps.
Right.
If it was 800 volts, it would pull 600 amps. So
Okay,
it's just a better
Yeah.
way to do it when you are talking about that amperage.
Yeah, okay. And that's something, we're transitioning from cubic inches, from a Holly 4-barrel, we're all transitioning to amperage, voltage.
How many amps does it pull?
lithium phosphate or lithium phosphate iron batteries to solid state, blah, 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 blah. And that's what I've said on my YouTube channel for years is that if you go 25, 30 years from now, the car meet will be the guy showing up, I just put in frickin', this, right?
It may not even be this. Batteries to me don't make as much sense as I realize that there's huge problems with hydrogen and storage and all that.
Yeah.
But I mean, batteries and storing the energy to go makes less sense to me than something like hydrogen or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think this is a stopgap for 20 years before they have something else.
Really?
That's how I feel about it, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, I thought the hydrogen's more the storage capability, the infrastructure.
Yeah, but there's so many people putting so much money into research on all this alternative stuff now.
Yeah,
that
right.
things are gonna
The
be-
renewables.
Yeah,
it's all about
things
the
are gonna move a
renewables
little
now.
quicker,
Yeah. So you feel like that this is going to putter out 20 years from now, huh? That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're going to transition to something else.
Yeah, I think so. Personally,
that's pretty.
I could be wrong. I'm usually wrong.
Well, sure. You burn around long enough, you get that, right? Well, hey, this is really nice. I do appreciate you as you always.
Yeah.
And here, for anybody out there, do you have a website?
Yeah.
You have an Instagram. I think you have an Instagram or something. Twisted Voltage.
It's all Twisted Voltage, yep.
And he will help you out if you've got a dream to have a battery behind your back.
That's it.
Or is it in front? Or is it everywhere?
Yeah.
Right?
It's in the front, it's in the back.
All right. Thank you very
want your
much.
plug to actually go over a mountain and be reliable and not leak and smell.
But that's a
what you
good.
need.
But that's the good old days.
Right.
Come on, that's the ice age.
I don't